Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are here with the Funk Master himself, Aljamain Sterling. He's fighting Bryan Caraway next Sunday, not this Sunday, but next Sunday on UFC Fight Pass on the early prelims. And Aljamain, thanks for taking the time.
Thank you for having me, man.
No problem, man. Always a pleasure. Um, yeah, first question. How are you doing? How is training camp going? First question.
As of right now, I'm doing pretty well. Just trying to get my weight down and staying focused on the fight. I got a couple of other business ventures. I'm trying to smooth out the wrinkles for those things. But outside of that, nothing too taxing and nothing too, I guess, distracting from the main goal at hand, which is to go out there and perform and get another win. So outside of everything, trainings went well, and I'm ready to go. I feel like I'm firing on all cylinders.
Awesome, man. You got your fight that you wanted, that you asked for a long time. Bryan Caraway, finally, it's going to go down. What do you expect from the fight, and how do you see it end?
You know what? I could see this possibly going back and forth a little bit for position. He's a big grappler, as am I, and I think there's a good chance that we might even cancel each other out. But I think at some point I will be able to latch around his head and possibly take his back. Either one of those things can happen, and I think I will get the finish for sure.
Okay, and what do you think? Submission, TKO? What's
I'm going to go with a submission. I'm,
submission?
for some reason, I feel like I'm going to get the rear naked choke.
Yeah.
That's what I really think. I really think that's what's going to happen.
Okay. Um, question: You are on the early fight pass prelims. You are the feature prelim, like they say, and
Yep.
Almeida and Garbrandt, lower ranked guys, and you are on the main event of the main card. What's your take on that? And are you happy with the future prelim on Fight Pass, the spot? Are you happy with it?
I mean, to be completely honest, in the very beginning, I wasn't so much, and then after actually talking with the UFC brass and one of the I guess the president of Fight Pass, who pretty much runs everything,
Yeah.
broke everything down to me, and it made sense, and I'm trusting his guidance and the things that he believes that he'll be able to do for me with fighting on Fight Pass and the direction that they're going. And I'm excited about it. So either way, a fight's a fight. Doesn't matter where you're fighting. You got to go out there and try to get the win. So whether I'm fighting in the back alley or I'm fighting in my gym or I'm fighting in front of thousands or millions of people on TV or on Fight Pass. So the good thing about Fight Pass is there's no commercials, so people are going to be able to go straight through. And I like that feel of Fight Pass. It's just a little bit smoother. I wish they could figure out a way to get the Fight Pass fights into bars where people won't have to pay the pay-per-view subscribers for the capacity, and they could try to make it work that way. I think that would be something ideal.
Yeah, because I think they try and do promote it more in the US because here in Europe I think it's a lot of people have Fight Pass. They like it, you know. But in the US it's like you have on Fox Sports normally you have the prelims, the not the early prelims but the prelims, and you have the main card. You have on Fox or also on Fox Sports. So it's like they're trying to get bigger fights on the Fight Pass prelims on the early prelims so people check them out as well, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Um, Another question. Last time we talked about New York legalization. New York is legalized now for MMA. There will be an event, Madison Square Garden. Um, of course, I think you want to be on that event. Am I right?
Definitely,
Yeah,
definitely would be on that. Um, you know what, man? Realistically, I just got to get past this fight, and I think it's gonna make all the sense in the world to get me on that card. So I just got to make sure I take care of business May 29th, and I think good things are gonna happen for me. To be a part of a card like that would be historic, and it'll be a memory that I don't think anyone will forget. It's just gonna be a great time in history for New York MMA fans as a whole, and even people who don't even know about the sport in the city of New York that kind of just wander in the streets. Once they start seeing those posters and everything start to go up in those billboards, the interest in that area will peak, and I think the MMA industry will boom after coming to MSG.
Yeah, I think so as well. I'm not going to look past Bryan Caraway, but of course you want to fight on that New York, on New York, like I said. But what do you expect for a fight there? Do you expect a number one contender match? Do you expect something else with Garbrandt and Almeida now in the main card spot and also climbing the rankings?
I'm gonna have to ask you to repeat that again.
Okay,
I'm
so I'm
getting
sorry.
interviews right now.
No, I said you want to be on the New York card. I know you don't want to look past Bryan Caraway, but what do you expect to get at a card from an opponent? Because you have Almeida and Garbrandt now on the same card as you next week fighting on the main event. The winner from that fight, would that be an option for you if you get past Bryan Caraway?
I mean, ultimately, it will be an option. I mean, my whole thing is I, I'm looking past that. I'm looking towards gold. I'm looking at the finish line, and I want to be able to say I was the best in the world or something. And I think I proved it with the opponents I've beaten and the way I've beaten them. And I'm not getting lucky knockouts. I'm dominating my fights. And I think if I go out there and do the same thing again to another contender who hasn't been finished,
Yeah.
and God knows how long, and has I think over 20 wins, and he's been top 10 in the world for a long time. I'm fighting one of the most seasoned veterans there are in there is in the top 10 division of this weight class. So I think my win will be much more warranted for a title shot over a Thomas Almeida and Cody Garbrandt. Those guys they may have a bigger following than I do, but I think when it comes down to the accomplishments and the things that we've achieved, I think I've definitely headed beyond what those guys have done so far. I mean, not saying that they won't be able to do that, but as of right now, I think I'm definitely ahead of those guys right now, and I'm looking for a title shot after this. And if I don't get it and I have to fight one more, then if it's the winner of Almeida and Garbrandt, then it's the winner of Almeida and Garbrandt. If I can maybe fight TJ or Sunsao before one of those guys try to cut the line. I mean, they're not really cutting the line. I guess so Sunsao's on a 7-fight win streak, and TJ is a former world champ himself, so it wouldn't be fair to say they're cutting the line, but I'm gonna cut the line. I'm the line cutter right here.
What do you expect from the main event? Almeida against Garbrandt. What do you expect?
I think it's gonna be. It all depends on who starts first. I think Cody could come out, set the tone early by setting up his boxing and then taking the fight to the ground. And if he could do that and keep him there and wear Almeida out a little bit, see how he fares going into the later rounds with someone who's actually pushing the pace on him and he's not just punching someone like a straight up punching bag for 3 rounds. I think it will be an interesting fight in that aspect. I think Almeida's the more dynamic fighter when it comes to striking. I heard he's solid on the ground. I don't know how true that is. They say that about Vitor Belfort, but when's the last time people seen Vitor use his black belt in MMA? So I think this battle is going to be it will be the difference. The difference will be who mixes it up a little bit better and who can set the tone early. So it's really hard for me to say. But if I had to pick, if I was a betting man, my money would probably go with I would have to think Almeida, just based on the past few fights that both guys have had.
Okay. Um, then it's a pretty easy one to ask you as well. Assunção against TJ Dillashaw, UFC 200. What do you expect from that fight?
Both guys are pretty different, very different from the first time they fought each other.
Yeah.
I think TJ, for some reason, I don't know. I feel like TJ won the first fight, and it's interesting, man, because Sunsao is so good at what he does. He doesn't do much, but he's very good at the very little that he does, which is keeping the distance, landing his hard right hand or 3-2 combination, and then just playing the outside and not really doing much. And yeah, I think TJ is going to be the busier fighter. I can definitely see TJ putting more of an exclamation point on this one and showing why he should have won the first time. So I'm going to have to go with TJ for this one. And yeah, I think so. I think I'm going to have to go with TJ.
Okay. Okay, that's clear. Yeah, then I also have to ask you Faber against Cruz. Come on.
Um, Favorite Cruz. It's really hard to bet against Dominic, to be honest. So, Faber does look like he's in phenomenal shape right now, though. I want to say the best shape I've ever seen him look physically, just based on his Instagram and his social media stuff that he posts. So with that being said, I do still think it's a little past his time. I think it's Cruz's fight to lose, So I'm going Cruz based via footwork and just pace and cardio. If Faber could keep that pace that he had the first time with him, then who knows? But Faber had a tough time with Frankie Saenz, who keeps a pretty good pace himself. So I think if I'm a betting man, I'm definitely going with Cruz on that one.
Okay. Um, Bryan Caraway and you in media. Caraway said some things about you. You said some things about Bryan Caraway. You he talked about you like yeah he's always talking about me, that kind of stuff. And he was like, I'm not the bad guy. You try to let me come off like the bad guy. How are things between you two right now?
Introducing all new.
Between me, Caraway, and
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. The guy, I think he blocked me on Instagram with like the vagina he is. Um, I whatever, man. I don't care. I'm not here to make friends, I'm out here to do a job. We're fighters. You mean to tell me you can punch a man in the face and knee a guy in the face and elbow him and cut him open and do all this stuff, but then my words hurt your feelings? Shut up. Like seriously, you can take that somewhere else, man. Whatever, man. I think the guy just needs to grow a set and say something back. That's all I wanted for the guy to do. Just say something back. Show people that you actually have some balls and you can actually come back somewhat witty. And if you can't, then I don't know. Just tell me go fuck myself or something. I don't know. But I don't know. His approach to one, promoting a fight, and two, just another man calling him out. Not even another man, other men calling him out countlessly. It's pretty laughable to me.
Yeah. Um, I'm going to ask you, Chris Weidman, your teammate. He's out with an injury. Um, yeah, what are your feelings about it? What do you think will happen? Maybe he can get his rematch against Rockhold if Rockhold wins against Bisping in Madison Square Garden. I don't know what your point of view on it.
It really all depends on the UFC. They're known to do some strange things sometimes, but ultimately it's their promotion. So I do hope that he gets a chance, and maybe you know what, man, maybe it would be better if he had a 3 round fight. Maybe I don't know, let his body kind of heal up a little bit more, and not have to go through such an intense training camp to get in the best physical shape possible. So who knows? Maybe this could be a blessing in disguise. And if he does get passed up, I don't think it's all that bad. I don't think it's the end of the world. Give him another fight and get the people more excited for that rematch. I
Yeah,
think that would be another great way to sell it, or give him the rematch right away when he comes back and is healthy. Either one works for me, in my opinion. I think either one works for the fans as well.
yeah, definitely. Um, that was my last question. Actually, I want to wish you best of luck next Sunday in your fight against Bryan Caraway. Again, thanks for taking the time to doing this interview. And yeah, what can I say? Good luck, and hope to speak to you another time.
Thank you, brother.
No problem, man.